Ashley Marie Simpson is a Caucasian female with brown hair, brown eyes, and she is 5 feet 5 inches tall, and she weighs 119 pounds. Ashley was last seen on April 30th, 2016. 32-year-old Ashley Simpson and her boyfriend Derek Favel lived in a trailer on the property of Brent Cox. The last time Cox saw Ashley was the last Wednesday in April 2016 as she was doing yard work. Ashley was in a great mood, although a little later Derek and Ashley had a bit of a spat over finances. Derek said that we had a bit of a fight and it wasn't much of a fight. I ended up going to sleep. I woke in the morning and I thought Brent had driven her into town or driven her down to someone's house for a couple of days, said Favel. She had done this before, where she would leave at night and we would have to send someone to go pick her up because she wouldn't be walking. I kind of figured that she had done it again. According to Cox, he wasn't aware of Ashley leaving until Favel informed him the next morning. I came home that evening and nobody was there. The next morning, I learned from Derek that Ashley left. He had received a text from her in the morning stating that she was gone and she would send for her things. Favel remembered the dialogue with Cox this way. I told Cox that I'm pretty sure that she took off this morning. She had sent me 2 texts at about 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Basically, she said she was done with me and really didn't want anything to do with me anymore, said Favel. Cox actually thought that Ashley went back home as her family was expecting her back in Ontario for a summer job. Unfortunately, she has been missing a few weeks now and the police are suspecting foul play. The investigation into Ashley's disappearance has turned up nothing. As soon as Favel realized that Ashley was missing, he was crushed, and also after discovering she hadn't contacted her family, Favel filed a missing person report. It has been pretty well hell for the past few weeks, he said. Cox said that he is doing all that he can to assist with the search, including a search of his property. Ashley was last seen on February 27th, 2016. Ashley and Derek lived on Yankee Flats Road near Enderby when she vanished. She was planning on going home for a baby shower in Niagara on the lake, and was hoping her boyfriend could pay her back for her traveling expenses. Ashley was then planning on working with her dad for the summer at a lodge outside of Huntsville. Ashley lived and worked at the Sasquatch Crossings and its sister hotel, the Buffalo Inn, for 3 seasons, working in the kitchen and managing reservations. She had traveled from Ontario to northern BC work camps with her father, John, who worked as a cook. There is speculation that Ashley is connected to the other girls that went missing in the same area. However, the RCMP haven't admitted to the connection. The police do, however, suspect foul play. In an article posted October 23, 2017, the headlines read, "Somebody's going to get closure. Missing woman's dad waits for news from BC search." The article read as follows: Human remains found during the search near Salmon Arm. Investigation continues on 2 North Okanagan properties. From the other side of the country, John Simpson is watching the search of a rural North Okanagan property with trepidation. On Saturday, police discovered the human remains in the Silver Creek area between Salmon Arm and Vernon. Simpson said that he has spent his life savings traveling to BC to search for his daughter. The police have told him they suspect foul play. "We would like to find closure and move on with our life and bring our daughter home so she is here with family and friends," he said. "We still have a string of hope that she may be alive, because we have no information otherwise, whether she's here or whether she's gone." Mounties have been searching the property in the 2200 block of Salmon River Road since last Thursday, and a second property search is underway 15 kilometers to the northeast near Spring Bend Road and Highway 97B. According to Jody Leon of the Splatson First Nation, as many as 6 women have recently gone missing in the area. People are feeling uneasy. "People are feeling a level of shock and disbelief," Leon said. She's helped in the search of Ashley, and also 27-year-old Caitlin Potts, who was last seen in February 2016. The missing also include Nicole Bell, Deanna Wirtz, Tracy Genreau. The property where the remains were found is on the same road that was the subject of a recent police warning after a man allegedly threatened a woman with a gun in August. A man by the name of Curtis Wayne Sagmon was charged with firearms offenses and other charges in connection with the investigation. Mounties will not say whether Sagmon is a suspect in the investigation into the found remains. In an article from June 2, 2020, the headlines read, "Missing Niagara woman's ID found in remote northern BC town." The article goes on to say a driver's license belonging to Ashley Simpson, who vanished 2 years ago near Salmon Arm, BC, has been found 1,200 kilometers north at a remote trucker's lodge on the highway to Alaska. The discovery is the first piece of physical evidence connected to the St. Catharines woman since she disappeared in April 2016. but it hasn't shed much light on what happened to her. How the license surfaced so far from where Ashley Simpson disappears remains a mystery. Police believe Simpson and at least 2 others met with foul play. Only one of those women, 18-year-old Tracy Jeanreau, has been found. Her body discovered in October 2017 on a farm outside Salmon Arm following an intensive police search. No one has yet been charged in connection with her death or disappearance of any of the other women. BC has a disproportionately high rate of missing people. In the past decade alone, more than 1,900 people across the country have gone missing and remained missing after 3 months. Nearly a quarter of those cases are from BC. Adjusted for population, BC's missing persons rate is twice the national average and almost 5 times higher than Canada's most populous province, Ontario. I'm going to do a follow-up video on just that alone. Simpson, 32, lived and worked at Sasquatch Inn for 3 years. In February 2016, she left the highway workers community with her boyfriend, Derek Faval, who worked in a nearby Pink Mountain business. They moved south to Salmon Arm, where the pair lived in a trailer until she vanished on April 27, 2016. Simpson's Ontario driver's license was found during a routine cleaning of a truck. According to staff who did not provide their names, the truck is used to collect human waste from the work camp. RCMP have interviewed the maintenance worker who found the license. A manager at Sasquatch Crossing sent a photo of the ID to Simpson's mother, Cindy Simpson, and placed the license in the mail. Cindy said the manager told her in a Facebook message on October 9th, "How it ended up in the tank is strange," the manager wrote. The Simpson family was surprised to learn the license was found at Pink Mountain. Family members who Ashley was in regular contact with said she never mentioned that she had lost her license and that she never got a license in BC. Cindy Simpson said that judging by the condition of the ID in the photo, she doesn't believe it could have been in the sewage for more than 2.5 years. The picture shows an Ontario driver's license that appears to be in very good condition, with no discoloration or obvious damage. It's unclear how often the truck in question is serviced. Staff at the Sasquatch Crossing say that the septic tanks at the lodge have been emptied twice by vacuum trucks since the ID was found. Simpson did not return to northern BC after she left Faval in February 2016. A 2017 investigation by the St. Catharines Standard found that Faval and Ashley often fought while in Salmon Arm. The couple were unemployed and lived in Faval's Dutchman trailer. She was last seen on April 27, 2016, when Ashley, Faval, and a friend visited Margaret Falls, hiking through the dense forest to the waterfall north of Salmon Arm across Shuswap Lake. The couple fought the entire trip. The friend dropped them off at the trailer where they were still arguing. 2 days later, Faval sent a text message to the Simpson family in Ontario asking whether they had heard from or seen Ashley. He said she packed her pink suitcase and left on foot that night. After Ashley vanished, Faval left Salmon Arm. His Facebook page says he lives in Fort St. John. Prior to her disappearance, Ashley's family pleaded with her to return to Ontario. They said she had tentative plans to come home, but insisted she wouldn't leave until Faval gave her the money he owed her. Her mother, Cindy, said that if Ashley lost her license, she would have told her. She would have needed her ID to fly home. Sasquatch Crossing owner thinks that Ashley lost her ID years ago when she worked there, but Cindy thinks that someone had it there until recently. Cindy isn't sure what to make of it. She still believes that Ashley's remains are somewhere in the Okanagan, but not knowing where she is has taken its toll. Her birthday comes and goes, and it's leaving a big impact on the family. In 2019, John Simpson, Ashley's dad, has announced a reward for $10,000 will be available to anyone who can provide information which leads to the finding of Ashley or the arrest and charge of an individual or individuals responsible for Ashley's disappearance. John said that a relative that he only met once said that he would be willing to put up their reward. "We really appreciate it," he said. "We are hoping that the money will loosen someone's lips." John says that he is getting angrier as time goes by. "If we could just get some answers, some solutions. But we just keep hitting a brick wall. It's not the same as a death and you have a body in front of you. You don't have closure, so you don't know. You're torn. I will never get over losing our daughter. We need an official place where we can grieve, where we can go and see her." John would like to see the police and the government launch a national task force, providing resources to search as well as supporting families who are suffering. He says that he has gone bankrupt, but not because of spending habits. "I'm bankrupt because the government doesn't support my efforts to find my daughter." Anyone with any information about Ashley or her current whereabouts is asked to please call the nearest RCMP detachment or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. So another one of the missing cases in BC has been covered by me. I really feel drawn to do my part, however small, in helping find Ashley Simpson and the hundreds of other missing people in this province. If you could, can you please share these on your social media? Every bit of information about these cases need far more coverage than they are currently receiving. Let's work together to keep these cases alive and in the mainstream. Remember to stay safe and always plan your day, and let someone close to you know where you will be at all times.
When people ask me how I'm holding up, I tell them okay. But the truth is, I want to scream. There is a large piece of my family missing. My husband and I haven't had a good sleep in 3 years. My family's heart breaks every day. My husband lost his mini-me. Ashley's nieces have a hard time understanding why Auntie Ashley broke her promise of coming home. And my daughters feel like they lost a big part of themselves. My family will never be the same. I feel like someone must know something about Ashley and maybe are too afraid to say something. But there are so many ways to reach out to the RCMP. Please, just call. Ashley had so many people that loved her and miss her and just want her home. Ashley always tried to find the good in people and was willing to help anyone who needed it. She had a heart of gold, and we need to bring her home. Ashley has a very large family who have all felt the ripple effect of heartbreak and pain. Ashley's nieces still ask to this day if the police found Auntie Ashley in the woods. What am I supposed to tell them? We have cried more tears than I thought possible. We aren't living. We are just surviving one day at a time. For the past 35 months, I wake up and pray today is the day we find Ashley. So far, my prayers haven't been answered. Someone please answer my family's prayers for my Ashley and bring my daughter home.